Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News this morning.
Developing right now, new video of that 8-alarm fire at a paper plant in New Jersey. The flames destroying the factory, homes evacuated, and schools closed.
First, though, we have breaking news in Brooklyn. A raging fire ripping through a commercial building, smoke filling nearby apartments. Firefighters also battling the dangerous temperatures.
Eyewitness News reporter Candace McCowan is live at the scene in Bushwick for us. Candace.
Yeah, Ken Shirley, flames are still shooting from this commercial building. We believe it's a warehouse, and I believe that there's actually food that is stored in that warehouse. I can tell you we know that only because we see the products flowing down the street in the water here. We believe we're seeing peanut butter and peanuts, but you can see the flames from above and how much of this building is in fire, under flames this morning. Now, we have some citizen app video showing those flames right after this fire began around 4 o'clock this morning. Now, witnesses saying that the flames were at least 20 feet high coming from this commercial building. Fire crews taking a while to try and figure out exactly what was inside. However, they say that the heavy smoke spread to nearby residential buildings, sending many who live nearby into a panic.
We got up and we opened the door to our building, and the whole stairwell was filled with smoke, and we could barely breathe. And so we started packing up a bunch of stuff as quickly as we could.
Yeah, so it is extremely cold out this morning. They have brought in extra crews here on this scene so that firefighters can rotate in and out, but there is still a lot of flames coming from this warehouse at this time. They're trying to get a handle on it. Earlier in the morning, they were inside that building, but they were moved outside for safety reasons at this time. This building really completely a loss right now because the fire has just ripped completely through this building here. Again, a lot of fire crews here. They have buses here so that they can take shifts. And Shannon Stone has a look from above in Newscopter 7 at the situation. Shannon?
Yeah, and Candace, 2.5 hours into this blaze, and they are no closer to getting it under control. The roof has completely collapsed at this point, and you can really feel for the firefighters when you look at them on those tower ladders and what a losing situation it is. We're just going to bring up Street Spotter 7, and we're going to pull this picture out to give you an idea of what you're dealing with. We're expecting massive icing conditions, especially along Vernon Avenue, this fire burning at 376 Vernon Avenue, but the fire department activity goes all the way from Vernon Avenue through to Broadway and over to Lewis Avenue. So a huge operation here. As you mentioned, those warming buses are helping. We also just want to point out on the right side of this building, you can see that there is a parking lot, but on the left side, where all the smoke and wind is blowing it, there is another structure there. So firefighters doing what they can to contain it to this one building. Reporting live over Bushwick, Shannon Stone, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Weather and traffic every 7 minutes. 6:32 is the time. Meteorologist Amy Freeze here. 14 below is the wind chill in Central Park right now. We've got single-digit readings as far as the thermometer goes. We're at 2 degrees in the city. Out of Long Island, 3 for Smithtown. White Plains with the goose egg. We've got 3 degrees for Belmar on the thermometer, and Newark is currently at 2, but we factor in the winds, and we're below 0 for the feels-like temperature, down to 18 below 0 for Newburgh, feeling like 13 below along the Jersey Shore, and feeling like as much as 28 below up in the northern counties. Wind chill advisory in light blue, wind chill warning here in pink. That's for the most severe numbers. We're not looking at any storms today, no snow. It's all about the sunshine, but despite that big ball of fire in the sky, we're going to be really cold, single digits, maybe making it to the middle teens before the day is done. We'll have a warm up over the weekend. Those details ahead. That's weather. Here's Heather.
Amy, let's talk about the Hudson River crossings. 1 hour delay coming inbound at the Lincoln Tunnel. Go with the George or the Holland Tunnel. The reason for this is something's happening here on 495 as you come inbound right near Pleasant Avenue. Looks like a couple of lanes are closed down. Accident, de-icing. We'll keep you posted. New Jersey Transit, 30-minute delays into and out of New York Penn Station. Still have this activity, BQE Northeast into Cadman Plaza. Jam-packed ride getting up into that area. At least 60 minutes from the Goethals Bridge. Street cleaning rules are in effect. Ken, over to you.
Thank you, Heather. 6:33. Now to a developing story. Another big fire, this one in New Jersey. A paper factory engulfed in flames. The iconic Markel building in Elmwood Park destroyed.
Homes evacuated, schools even closed today because of this fire. Eyewitness News reporter Derek Waller is live at the scene with new video for us. Derek?
And Charlene, firefighters are basically choosing to let this burn out on its own because of the severe weather conditions. Take a look for yourself down there. They're still shooting water on this, but you see that building over there? That is basically encased in ice. It basically looks like an ice sculpture because all the water they're shooting basically turns into ice on contact. We got a hold of some of the scanner traffic. Listen to their desperate pleas yesterday.
If you don't get water on this one fire in the building, you're going to be kissing it goodbye. We need water now.
And we also have some video to show you from Instagram. You see that iconic Marcal sign just engulfed in flames. Later on yesterday, it actually collapsed. It is no more. This 8-alarm fire broke out shortly after 5 o'clock last night. Firefighters really battling a worst-case scenario, an inferno at a paper factory. Rolls of paper fueling those intense flames, not to mention the extreme cold and strong winds that would not let up.
It's cold, but the wind is whipping. They're probably 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and that just feeds a flame and feeds a fire and causes it to spread rapidly.
Because of the wind was blowing it right toward our house. Chunks of paper, burning paper falling down onto the roofs, the trees, the grass.
And so far, there's no word on what caused this fire, but really, first things first, more than 12 hours after this started, they're still trying to get it out. But again, they're letting it burn out on its own. There were some evacuations nearby, but so far, there's no threat to any other homes now. And so no one's been injured as well. And thankfully, this has been contained to where it is. We're live in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. I'm Derek Waller, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Derek, thank you. It's 6:35, and the dangerous deep freeze forcing dozens of school districts to open on a delayed opening or close altogether. We've just learned that all public schools in Newark are closed. A code blue is in effect in New York City. This is new video of the MTA homeless outreach teams in Penn Station yesterday trying to get people safely into shelters to keep warm. We know that NYCHA is working around the clock to make sure every resident has heat or hot water. Hot water. They've opened heating centers and activated heat teams in every borough. A heat command center will also be open around the clock. But Mayor de Blasio is urging residents not to use any measures to heat their homes that could spark a fire.
I understand why people attempted to use those temporary measures like opening up the oven or space heater, but there's a lot of dangers associated with that. And, you know, the most important thing is to make sure people are safe. Too often, when people come up with that kind of temporary measure, there's been tragedies.
Well, the city is urging anyone experiencing heat or hot water issues to call 311 immediately. You could track weather conditions in your neighborhood right from your phone by downloading our AccuWeather app.
A vote in New Jersey today to approve a minimum wage hike. The bill would boost the state's minimum wage to $10 an hour by the summer, then up to $15 by 2024. Democrats control both state chambers and have enough votes to pass the measure. Also happening today, Housing Secretary Ben Carson expected to make a big announcement during a visit to NYCHA ahead of a deadline for a possible federal takeover. Lynn Patton, who oversees the Federal Department for New York and New Jersey, saying Carson's announcement will be huge and historic. She went on to write, quote, whether or not this announcement will be great news for the mayor remains to be seen. The mayor's office says he is focused on NYCHA residents as temperatures dip dangerously low.
6:37, Chicago police released surveillance pictures of two men they want to question in connection with the alleged hate crime attack on Empire actor Jussie Smollett. Smollett says that he was attacked by two masked men who poured liquid on him and put a rope around his neck. They also allegedly shouted racist and homophobic slurs. Smollett's music manager says he was on the phone with the actor and heard part of the attack, including the assailants shouting, "This is MAGA country." The city's chief medical examiner says the mother who fell down the stairs with her one-year-old daughter in a stroller suffered no significant trauma. Now, what that means is it's believed Malaysia Goodson's death may be due to a pre-existing condition. The news comes as disability rights activists held a rally at the station where Goodson was found Monday night. Goodson's daughter did survive that fall. Demonstrators want the MTA to come up with a timetable for installing elevators at every station.
What we need is a legally binding agreement, because who knows what the commitment of the next president of New York City Transit will be, or his successor.
The MTA admits there are accessibility issues at some subway stations. The agency says that installing elevators is a top priority. An autopsy will determine the exact cause of Goodson's death.
It is coming on at 6:39. New York prosecutors launching an investigation into Apple and that security flaw that left users eavesdrop on other people while using group FaceTime. Apple disabled the app after the discovery, but New York Attorney General Letitia James and Governor Cuomo want to know why it took so long for Apple to warn consumers about the bug.
6:39 is our time, and you're never more than 7 minutes away from weather and traffic.
Meteorologist Amy Freeze is inside keeping warm.
We are at 2 degrees, you guys, on the thermometer, but the wind chill factor is even lower. We're expecting clear skies today and no snow. We're going to get a lot of sunshine. However, it doesn't do much to warm up our temperatures. We remain in the single digits through the early afternoon. That keeps the wind chill factor very low as well. So the feels like is just uncomfortable for the rest of today and even into early tomorrow morning. But then our temperatures make it into the low 20s. We could have some flurries south on Friday afternoon. Saturday, we're above freezing, and that's actually going to feel good. Before the mid-40s to close out the weekend. We actually have 50s in the AccuWeather 7-day forecast. All of that in just a few minutes. I'll see you then. Heather O'Rourke.
Amy, we have a 1-hour delay inbound at the Lincoln Tunnel. Go with the George or the Holland Tunnel. We had an earlier problem on 495 inbound at Pleasant Avenue. The accident has been cleared away. Buses, as a result of that, going to the Port Authority bus terminal, dealing with 15-minute delays. But as you can see, 495 has finally been reopened. Cross Bronx westbound, we have this accident right near the Bronx River Parkway. BQE still jam-packed to Cadman Plaza with the crash being cleared away. And that, again, by Cadman Plaza. So Williamsburg Bridge, Brooklyn-bound ramp to the northeast BQE crash. Street cleaning rules are in effect. Ken, Charlene, over to you.
All right, Heather, thank you. It's 6:40, coming up the record-breaking year for New York City's public schools.
Also ahead, police officers opening fire during a traffic stop in Brooklyn. The driver injured. The new details we are learning overnight.
Lyft taking on New York City. The law, the ride-sharing service is challenging. When we come back.
And we, of course, are keeping you updated on that breaking news out of Brooklyn. A raging 5-alarm fire in a commercial building, sending smoke into nearby apartments. A live update from Newscopter 7 is next.
This Eyewitness